Here, and today we're going to do that carrot cake recipe with the marshmallowy icing. I'm really excited about this request, and if you have any requests for either a recipe you'd like to see me try, an art project, anything like that, please put them in the comments down below. And as always, if you're seeing this on Facebook or Instagram, please head over to my YouTube page and give it a subscribe, a like, give me some love over there, all that stuff. That just helps my stuff to get seen, and I'm not really sure what it does, but you're supposed to say that, right? Anyway, we're gonna go through this recipe exactly how instructed, because I haven't done this recipe before, and that's what I like to do, is do it exactly how they instruct, because they probably know better than I do. Then the next time I do the recipe, if I choose to do it again because I like it, then I can go all rodeo on it. But for today, we're gonna follow it just like the instructions say. You will find the recipe in the description. Let's get at it. Let's hit it. Let's get to it. That's what they say. Let's just get to it. So this recipe calls to mix all of the dry ingredients together first, and then we're going to do the wet ingredients second and then add them together. So I have 2 cups of gluten-free flour. I'm adding to it the baking soda, baking powder, salt, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And I'm just going to give those a little whisk together just to incorporate them. All right, now we'll switch to the wet one. We are going to have the coconut milk, olive oil, vanilla, vinegar. It actually helps to give it like a buttermilk kind of feeling. And then the brown sugar. So we're gonna then whisk those together, get them really incorporated. So it says to just add the egg, which I've already scrambled a bit, just till it's incorporated. And then to fold in the carrots. So we'll be folding in the carrots with something a little more gentle. So we're just trying to work the carrots in there without beating this extra, because when you work with pastries, if you beat them too much, it makes them not as fluffy. Okay, so we're going to add in the flour mixture in thirds. I'm going to switch back to a whisk for this. Slowly adding it in so that you don't have to really work too hard at it. Okay. Now it's looking a little bit more cake-like, right? All right. Then we're going to put it into 2 round pans, and then we're going to cook it for about 35 minutes. So this came out completely clean, so they are perfectly finished. And we're going to leave them here just to cool for a little while. I'll flip them out of their pans, and then I'm gonna wrap them and cool them in the refrigerator overnight, because we have to cool some of our coconut cream so that when we whip it up, it gets really nice and frothy and what am I even talking about? The problem with doing dairy-free stuff is that when it gets to room temperature, a lot of times it's a little bit kind of mushy. So what we're gonna do is make sure it's the right consistency, and then we're gonna whip it up. So next part of this will be tomorrow morning. All right, it's the next morning. I have my chilled cakes. They're out just getting to room temperature. And then I have my coconut cream in here. Now, this time, I tried something a little different. I used coconut whipping cream, which you still have to either freeze or refrigerator overnight. And this one, you're supposed to put the entire container in here, even the liquidy parts, because it has some properties to it that they added. Normally, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna actually have to separate this. So this is what it would look like normally. You'd go like this, and then there'd be this liquidy part at the bottom. See that? Normally you'd discard that, but for this, you don't discard it. You keep it in here. We're gonna add a tablespoon of vanilla. And my secret is that I put a couple of drops of almond extract in there as well. And then we're going to mix this up with the confectioner sugar. It's a 1 whole cup. Incorporate these just a little bit like this. So the recipe says that I may need to show this again halfway through this mixing process. And so we're just going to get it as much as we can. I have a pretty shallow bowl. This is like, I'm gonna try something different. So I have a really awesome go-to buttercream icing that I make, and I can tolerate butter, so that is, I'm lucky in that way. But I also have some tofutti cream cheese. So I know I said I was going to like follow this by the instructions, but I lied. Okay, so I added about a 1/4 cup of tofutti non-dairy cream cheese, and then I'm putting about a 1/2 stick of softened butter in here. But I'm going to, and then maybe another 1/2 cup confectioner sugar. But I'm going to put this in the refrigerator chill for a little bit so that it just has all the properties it needs to try to make a good whip. Helps if you plug it in. Okay, this icing did not firm up as I would have hoped, but it does taste good. So let's try to assemble the cake. Okay, so if I'm to be honest, we just tasted this cake and I'm just not impressed. It took a long time to make. It wasn't particularly difficult, but there were a whole lot of steps, and this is, I mean, it's not like cardboard, but it's just not just like that carrot cake where you're just like, rah, 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 and it's like super yummy, and you're like, oh my god, I want to just roll in the carrot cake. It just didn't have that effect on me. So I'm gonna say a pass. Anyway, like, subscribe, all those things. Love you, bye.